So we've all learned about powers and exponents, and we're all used to seeing powers and exponents as whole numbers, right? So we're probably all used to seeing something like my favorite example, 2 to the power of 3. We're used to seeing the powers always being a whole number, but we're never really used to seeing it as 2 to the power of a half. Have we ever seen that before? Now, if you have, you probably already know what to do, but if you've never seen that before, it's interesting to know, well, what do we do if we have 2 to the power of a half? Well, we know what we do when we have 2 to the power of negative 3, right? We just flip the number and we apply the exponent. But what in the world happens when I have a fractional exponent? Well, this is what, in my opinion, makes mathematics so fun, is when you realize something and you look at it and you're like, well, I don't know what to do. Well, I will explain in this video what you do if you see a fractional exponent. So, what I like doing when I'm explaining something is I put up the answer right away. Now, this is kind of counterintuitive, but I'll put it right up and see what I did there. So 2 to the 1/2 exponent is actually rewritten as the square root of 2. Now you're like, whoa, how did that turn into this? Well, one thing I need you to keep in mind, and I'll put it on the side right here, the square root is the opposite of a squared, right? The opposite of squaring something is the square root. So if you're rooting something, there's technically a secret 2 there that we don't see. It's there though. So knowing that, well, what actually went down here? Well, when we have a fractional exponent, actually, we rewrite that as a square root or a root in general. So what we do is we take the bottom number, the denominator of that fractional exponent, and we take the root of that. And the top number, whatever that is, in this case it's 1, we actually apply the exponent. Now this all actually seems a little bit messy right off the bat. Like when I first learned it, this was like, whoa, what just happened? I'll do a few more examples, and with examples you'll probably catch on to what I'm exactly doing. Again, this video is really short, it's just to show what fractional exponents are. So let's say I had 3 to the power of 3 over 4. Wow, again, fractional exponent, but we now know what to do. Again, what did I say before? The number on the bottom, the denominator, is my root. And by root, I mean that's the number of roots I'm going to take. So that's the nth root, or whatever you want to call it. So first I draw a root symbol, and the denominator is my root. So I take the 4th root, and the base stays the same. So the base is in my square root. And what I do is I place some brackets, and I then put the numerator. So this is how you would write a fractional exponent. You could also write this as, well, the 4th root always has to be there because that's the denominator. You could also write this as 3 squared and the 4th root. So the exponent gets applied, or the numerator gets applied to the base, and the denominator becomes the root. Let's do a few more examples actually. And I'm sure you'll get the hang of this sooner than later. Let's say we had 4 to the power of 1 over 4. Right? Well, how would I write that again? This, again, is my root. So your first step, again, make a root symbol. And whatever the denominator is 4 in that case. So I put the 4, and my base goes in the root. And, well, what's the exponent? Well, I put this in brackets and I put a 1. Well, what's anything to the power of 1? It's just the number itself. So I can just write that as 4 over 4. That's what you do with fractional exponent. I'm just going to do one more example, and then I think we can call it a day. So let's say we had 3 to the power of 4/5. Well, what do we do then? Well, again, this is my root, and that is my exponent. So I didn't write that previously, but I will now. So draw your root symbol, put your base, or whatever you want to do, and then take your root, put the root there, put brackets. That's how I usually put it. You could put the exponent right in there, but it doesn't really matter. There we go. That's how we rewrite it. So whenever you see a fractional exponent, this is how you rewrite it. You could just keep it as a fractional exponent, but what do we do with fractional exponents? We do this. Now if you want some letters, and some people prefer letters, so I'm just going to put one more example. Let's say we had just letters. So we had a to the power of b over c. So what would that look like? Well, I would have my root. So the root would be c, whatever c is. Inside I would have my a, and I would put brackets, and I would have b. So again, this is my root. So if I draw a root symbol, I put my root. This is my exponent, and the base goes in the root symbol. So that's all there is to fractional exponents. I hope this video helped. It was supposed to be a short video, just in case if you've never seen a fractional exponent before. So I hope this helped, and I hope you keep watching the other videos.